Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome back to our channel. We haven't done this for a little while actually. It's a bit of a... Oh, sorry there. It's one of our live not lives, bit of a chatty video.
We thought we'd invite you to have coffee with us. We've both got coffee.
Yeah.
So go and grab yourself a hot drink and we'll have a little bit of a chatty
You could be here a while.
You've got some
Yeah, we did.
questions.
We didn't ask us anything on Instagram the other day.
I haven't seen any of them.
You've not seen any of them, have you?
No.
So it's going to be a surprise for you. So what we're going to do, we're going to run through. I know I answered some on Instagram, but there were some others as well that we didn't. So I'm actually going to just run through all of them because I thought some of them actually we could actually sort of chat a little bit about.
You said some were a bit lengthy for stories, didn't you?
Yeah, some of them I could have probably written a load about. So that's why I may have either done a very brief answer. So maybe we'll expand a little bit on it just to show our thoughts and our answers. I just realised I've got these glasses on.
Does it matter?
Not really.
You can see with them. So go and grab yourself a coffee. And we also thought it would be really fun if you want to pick out some of the questions as well and answer them yourselves in the comments, because it's lots of you we've got to know quite well now through the comments and that, and through Instagram and YouTube. So it's a nice way for us to get to know you. So think of these as your questions as well. Some of them might not be applicable to you, but if they are, leave your little comments below.
Yeah, so if there's one in particular or two or whatever you feel you want to answer, or there's something you say, oh yeah, that's what I like, or that's what I do, or
I disagree with you,
oh,
this
yes,
is what I think.
Yeah, exactly. So by all means, because there's certain things we haven't done, and that will come down in some of the questions in a little while. So
Okay.
where are we going to start? I think we'll start at the top actually, and thank you. I'll try and remember to mention the names or the account names as I go. Some people obviously we do know, some people we know but not by name, so we'll just give the account name. So apologies if we're not naming you by name. So,
and then let us know your name if you want us
exactly,
to know.
yes, yeah. First one's from Holly. Thank you very much for your comments, Holly, and welcome back as well. So nice to hear from you recently. Best off-site restaurants. So what would you say? Obviously, this has just come to you straight away.
Riviera comes to mind straight away. Primo Piatto.
Off-site.
Off-site. Oh, sorry. I haven't drunk enough of my coffee. Off-site. We've become less and less into the off-site restaurants lately.
We have, and I did answer this on Instagram.
Did you? What did you say?
Well, for me,
Yeah.
the go-to, I think there's one place or two places in particular
I know
that we
what your
must
answer's
do.
gonna
No,
be.
you go and say.
Yours will be Texas Roadhouse.
Yep.
Yeah.
And IHOP as well.
Yeah.
I think they're the two. I mean, they're some people might think, oh, IHOP, nothing fancy, but to be honest,
It's the steak tips
the
for us.
steak tips are lovely. Texas Roadhouse, again, you can't. Well, we've never faulted it for the steak and also the cost. That's the thing, isn't it? I mean, I go for the big 16-ounce sirloin, which is $26. But if you go for a normal size steak, it's about, what is it, $14, $15? And you cannot afford that. I know there are other places. I know there's sort of Black Angus and there's Longhorns, but also know that they're actually a little bit more pricey as well. Never been to them, so again, we can't compare. But when you're only maybe going to these places once, we kind of feel we want to enjoy what we're doing. So they're the two I would say. Where else would you say?
I don't have a favourite anymore.
No?
I'm going to go with yours, but to be honest, my taste is different to your taste.
Well,
I was going to say...
I know one thing you will say.
No, but if I had to choose food, I would go Mexican, Spanish or Indian.
One you would add to yours.
Yeah.
And we've only done it at the airport, haven't we?
What was that?
Bahama Breeze.
I can't say that because I had a Caesar salad.
I know.
But I've never eaten there, so it can't be... I've always wanted to eat there.
No, that's what I mean, you'd want to go there.
But what I'm saying is my choice of restaurant wouldn't be your choice.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So we would never go to a Mexican restaurant.
I'd go to a Mexican
But
restaurant.
it's not your favourite food.
I would go to one.
So I don't actually have a favourite.
No, I would actually say as well, not going to a Mexican restaurant. I think more so because that's not necessarily been when we've been travelling with others. Maybe the family, the kids. That wouldn't have been their choice. So that's possibly the reason why we haven't done that type of thing in the past.
Also, you're limited with time when you go away.
Yeah,
so
you think you're going to have loads of time.
But so what I was going to say, we always do the Texas Roadhouse, the IHOP, the Cracker Barrels. Do you know what I mean?
Steak and Shake this time.
So like the things that I've wanted to do in the past, like I've really wanted to go to Margaritaville.
Yes.
I've really wanted to go to Bahama Breeze. We never get round, but because it could be a hit or miss, it's almost like it's
You
the
don't want
least
to waste
priority.
that time. And then I think also it gets to that stage of the holiday where you're kind of almost, not so running out of time, but then you are kind of like more limited on time.
So you end up
other
going
things
for the
you want
ones
to do as well, yeah.
I'd really love to go to the Colombian restaurant in Celebration, because there was one of those in St Augustine.
Right, next time, let's do...
But it's not your favourite type of food, so
Excuse me.
it seems such a shame.
No, it might be the nicest thing I've eaten.
It probably won't be, though.
Right, next time, let's go somewhere that we haven't done. We've done that a couple of times the last few trips, haven't we?
Have we?
We did in January, we did the Downtown Diner that we'd never been to before.
But then I kind of like get my fixes then in the likes of like Epcot or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
I get that, yeah.
Because I know it's not your favourite food, so I wouldn't...
I'd go.
Let's stop this conversation.
Should we say we answered that one? I know there's lots of other places. There was actually someone that mentioned about, I think, was it the Ford garage? We've not been before.
I'm not really into burgers and things.
No, so I mean, there's more choices that have come up, and I've seen people that have been to different places. There's also Sickies as well.
The name just sounds horrible.
Again, we've not been, but I know people have been and they've liked it. I think
I
there's certain
get
things.
fed up with the American style food. It's just not my type of thing. If I'm totally honest, it's not.
We don't really go to many of them now. I mean, even Miller's, we don't. We went and we weren't that...
We were really disappointed last time, weren't we?
Applebee's can be...
Applebee's, we've never had a bad meal.
Applebee's can be an all-round pretty good kind of like... If you've got lots of different tastes, if you're going even... well, it doesn't have to be a large group. If you've got different people with different tastes, they generally cater for pretty much most things. Price is good. And also, I think when we were there, was it happy hour as well? So I think it was 2 for the price of 1.
Cheesecake Factory is always a good one for me, because I can get my Asian fix.
Yeah, Cheesecake Factory. I think I'd like to try the other Cheesecake Factory, not the one we normally do at the mall, because it always seems just so busy there.
We were really disappointed in January, weren't we?
Yeah, so there's a few. So if you're going to be staying in a villa next time, there's plenty there. I think it also depends where maybe you're staying as well, for what's nearby. I mean, most places are pretty close to...
And I think these days, actually, I'm happier going somewhere like a nice bar and having a charcuterie board.
Yeah.
That's what we did a lot of, didn't we, last
And you would
trip?
notice my post, we're recording this on Friday, I've just posted today about the one we had at Port Orleans.
Oh, did you? I loved that. That was so nice. I think that's
so nice.
I like picky foods. I don't want the great big burgers and...
No.
Whose alarm is that? Oh, that's
Yours.
my alarm, sorry.
Sorry, Elise had an alarm that went off. And I've
I
just
have
changed
to
my
set
glasses.
myself reminders through the day to remind myself. Otherwise I forget to do things. But no, thinking about it, I like picky things. I think that's why I like Mexican and Spanish, because you have lots of little plates.
Yeah, and
I like
think,
that kind of
and do you
thing.
know what? I think someone said that. I sorry, I forgot the account and the name. Thank you for your comments, but they mentioned about Bahama Breeze, and he said about preferring the starters. And in actual fact, I think that's us
Do you
through
think
and
Yak
through.
and Yeti? We loved that meal.
Yeah, the starters at Yak and Yeti. No, that's not off site, but the starters were amazing. Well, the whole meal was amazing, but
Yeah.
we could have just chosen the starters.
That's more my kind of thing.
So I think in regard to off-site restaurants, hopefully that's answered it, and we're
Got into a bit of a debate then as well, didn't we?
next time we will go to the Colombian restaurant.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mums are always bottom of the pile, aren't they?
They are, I always say that, but you'll just keep quiet.
I know.
Another one from Holly as well said, are you interested in a Disney cruise? Yes, we would be.
The kids never, it just hasn't appealed to them, which is why we never looked into it before. But we've started talking about them. I don't think we would do a Disney cruise.
But yeah,
though,
I think
would
that's
we?
the thing. And I know, again, we had a couple of responses, or people mentioned about a Disney cruise when I put up the answer to this. And they said it's fantastic. And I totally can get that. They do look amazing. But I think for the price... and it was actually interesting because someone else left a comment and said they did. I can't remember who they cruised with, and again, sorry, I can't remember the account, but they said they did a cruise from, I think it was from Orlando. I may be
From
wrong.
Orlando?
Oh, Cape Canaveral. No, not Orlando, Florida. You know what I mean.
Sorry.
From Cape Canaveral.
Yeah.
And it was, I think it's the same kind of thing that Danny's done before.
Yeah.
And I think it was like £200-300.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel for like 3 nights, that's kind of really, really good value for money. Yes, it isn't Disney, but then sometimes I feel, can we justify spending those prices?
Yeah.
It may be amazing, But we do get the fix from Disney at the parks. And we get the fixes in sort of other ways, so...
I'd prefer to do a Med cruise or a Norwegian cruise, if I'm totally honest. Do a non-Disney one.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to experience the Disney one, but then I think I'd generally like to do a cruise. And I think you can get some really, really good deals there. So doing something like that doesn't cost a great deal, you could kind of do it in with your trip, can't you? It's almost, well, it is cheaper sometimes than staying at a hotel. So could be we love it, then we decide to do something another time. So okay, we had a question from who asked this one here? A Disney Life 71. How did you find using the DAS Pass on your October trip? We'll be using it for the first time in May. So for those that aren't aware, the DAS Pass is the disability pass. We were in Florida, Orlando with the family, and we had members of the party, I think there's about 3 or 4 that were eligible for the DAS Pass. So basically it enables you to check into a ride very similar to like Lightning Lane checking in, and it's a virtual queue, so you don't go straight on, you then have to come back. So if the queue time is say an hour, hour and a half, you still have to wait that time, but you just don't wait that time in the queue. You
have it on your phone.
You have it on the phone and the app, and then you still then go through. You're not just gone straight to the front of the queue. You still have to queue, but you're just in essentially
like a fast pass.
The same as a fast pass essentially.
Yeah.
Now, how do we find it? It did work really well for the family because of the disabilities that we had in the party. Your sister mainly, I think. It did work well, but even still, there were times that there was too long that she actually had to leave the queue on at least 2 occasions.
Test Track was a real difficult one.
Test Track 1, and also Turtle Talk.
Yeah.
As well. That seems a strange one, but we seem to be hanging around.
I think we were one of the first, so we ended up. When it said like it was like 5 minutes or something, we thought that you then walk through, but then we had to wait in this room for ages, and she ended up leaving. Yeah,
so no, it did work. It did work really well.
For us as well, with having sort of like autistic members of the group, it worked really well because having that downtime in between, so you weren't just constantly in queues. It was being able to rest in between.
Yeah, which was needed. I think otherwise it would have been too much. I think would have been too much. Well, for anyone who was eligible.
Yeah.
So no, it did work really well.
Reasons,
just interested to know, have you registered and done it online before going, or over the phone before going, or are you going to be doing it at the park? Because I know you can do both, can't you? You can actually choose to pre-register over the phone, but I believe you have to have a VPN to do that, don't you? Or you can do it in the park. So, but no, we found it did work really well. Had a question from Jules W. Is Ollie a person or a dog? Now, if you've seen our recent vlogs,
wow.
Well, your dad treats him like a person. I was
going to say he's in dog form.
He has his own bed.
He actually, when they have the hotel, they purposely have 2 beds.
By the way, he is a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although they take all their own bedding, so they actually cover the bed completely with his sort of clean bedding, so the hotel bedding's fine, but he will sleep on a bed. Everything is geared up around him. He shares their food. He's their favourite child.
He is, yes. It's the son your dad never had.
That's horrible.
I am joking.
I have a brother. That's why he said that.
I'm the son he never had, isn't he?
Yeah. You'd like to be. He's got Ollie now.
No, that I think that was more Lisa's sense of humour by on the video saying that you're going to meet Ollie, your stepbrother.
Everything is about Ollie.
No, but I think you were doing it.
Yeah, I know, but I feel like
people waiting to see someone, weren't they?
He's the favourite child, isn't he? Yeah.
So that's that one done there. If you could stay on one Disney resort from now on, what would it be? This is from Heather J. Nicholson.
That's a good one.
It's a good one, and also a tricky one. And this is one that I didn't answer. So you decided what yours would be.
Riviera. I never thought I'd say that until I stayed there.
Do you know what? I was going to say Bay Lake. We love Bay Lake. As a resort, it's probably the least Disney.
which we quite
which
like.
we like. It's ironic I'm using this word. It's quite contemporary. Ironic because the contemporary resort is literally next door. But it's when I mean clean, it's kind of like there's no fuss about it.
It's grown up Disney.
It is a grown up Disney. That was actually how it's described to us from someone at Disney when we were buying into DVC. But we thought we'd never actually like it. But I think the location is one thing. You're a 5-minute walk to Magic Kingdom,
which I love.
We love.
We love the walking. How many times have we stayed there now? 3 times.
3 times, yeah.
We've got a trip coming up later on in the year.
We're staying there later in the year as well.
Yeah.
The location is great. You're on the monorail. You can walk. We walk straight into the Contemporary. It's just got so many things about it, and of course you can jump on the monorail. You can go to the other resorts, but also the monorail to get to Epcot. You're kind of like in a good location for quite a bit of stuff. But have to say, staying at Riviera, if there was a choice, that's probably where I would stay as well, actually thinking about it.
Yeah.
The whole vibe, the whole feel,
everything.
The quick serve. Now that's the other thing as well. Bay Lake doesn't have a quick serve or a restaurant.
You wander into the
It
Contemporary.
doesn't have a restaurant, does it? No,
you wander into the Contemporary, but we're not fans of the Contemporary. It just feels so dark. I don't particularly like the quick serve there. Don't like the bar there. Just not a fan of the Contemporary.
Like the coffee.
Yeah, I like Joffrey's downstairs.
No, it opens at 6.
And I like the
which is
outside
nice.
area out the back by the by Bay Lake.
Yeah.
I like all that. I love being able to walk to Magic Kingdom, but hi Poppy.
Take your time.
No, please don't stop.
Go on.
Go on, carry on. Thank you. I just love the Riviera. I love being able to get on the Skyliner. I love being able to wander around the water there by the Caribbean. I love the actual water where we've sat down and had food a few times.
Yeah, I think the Riviera, and also the Riviera is great because the coffee, we didn't get a chance to have the cakes, the breakfast time or the morning cakes the pastries and that. But I think, the Riviera was just something nice. The quick serve, that pizza,
And it's not too busy. Like, the Grand Floridian's lovely, the Poly's lovely, Beach Club is lovely, but they're also busy.
Animal Kingdom, do you know what? Animal Kingdom, I know it'll be controversial here, will probably be my last choice to stay.
Kidani.
And also maybe Animal Kingdom. It doesn't, it's sort of not I know a lot of people love it.
I like staying at Boardwalk.
Boardwalk loved. Actually preferred Boardwalk over Beach Club.
I agree.
Which, I don't know, it just seemed to be...
I think, though, because when we stayed at, I think, DVC at Beach Club, you're out the back, we felt apart, away from everything. Pops, really? You sleep 95% of the time.
You
And
decide
every
to
time.
walk.
She does this. Every time I get the camera out, she just walks up and down. Do you want to be on camera?
I don't think so, is she?
I don't know. Did you want to say hello? Urgh. Say hello. Is that what you wanted? She wants to answer a question.
Does
Who's
she?
your favourite character, Poppy?
Well, in fact, we've got one of those questions.
Who's Poppy's favourite character?
No, we asked the top...
I think she likes Pluto the
No,
best.
it was actually top 3 character meets.
Poppy, who's the best character? Well, she's got a toy Pluto, hasn't she?
Well, it's a toy Pluto, yeah.
Yeah, so I think Pluto is Poppy's favourite.
Oh.
That's what I think. Right, now you can go back down. Now you said hello. So should we go with Riviera?
Yeah, I think Riviera overall.
There we go, Pops.
So...
Go back to bed.
And that's also from now on. I think it has a mix of everything. So, for example, although as much as we love Bay Lake, it still does have kind of limitations as such.
I do like Bay Lake, though, I agree.
Bay Lake is lovely. If you're there for a few nights, it's a great way to get those Magic Kingdom fixes. And also the fact of after fireworks are done, it is amazing to actually just go back to your room.
But Riviera's beautiful. I loved our room there. It's so light and airy.
Should we go on to the top 3 character meets?
Okay.
Because obviously that was obviously...
Poppy's favourite is Pluto.
This is a question from Georgia.
Yeah.
There was actually a few from Georgia, so we'll get to those rather than a minute. But top 3 character meets. So, right, I did answer this. I'll see if you say the same as what I put. Who would be your favourite character meet?
Chippendale.
Yes, that's what I put top.
Did you as well?
Chippendale.
Okay. And then next, are we talking? Because I think Jack Skeleton was one of my favourites as well.
That was my second.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Jack, was he Christmas? That was a brilliant character meet.
That was so good. Love when we used to meet Stitch. Stitch.
That was the last one on there as well.
Was
Stitch.
it? I think, though, if I'm totally honest, one of my favourite overall that we've ever had was when my sister met Winnie the Pooh.
But that's for other reasons, though.
And she showed Pooh her really bad Pooh tattoo. If you haven't seen that, I'll link the video below. My sister, when she was drunk, when she was 18, had a really bad Winnie the Pooh tattoo.
It's awful. It's only tiny, isn't it? But
yeah, and she showed Pooh and he loved it. It was a really funny one, though. He was laughing as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
It was really good.
Another one from Georgia here's favourite non-Disney place to holiday.
That's a tricky one.
Because if we're talking about places we have already been, we have to say, in actual fact, we did chat about this a little bit. There is a place that really, really does mean a lot to us, and it's when we used to go down to the south coast, when we used to go to Charmouth.
On the Jurassic
On
Coast.
the Jurassic Coast in Dorset. It was great. We used to get a static caravan. Usually
Take Poppy.
first time we went was just a weekend, wasn't it? But
Yes.
we then stayed there
Extended
for a
it,
week at a time. I think we actually extended one time when we were there to stay
It was
longer.
the first time. The kids were little. We had Poppy. Poppy was allowed to go on the beach because we always went off season.
Yeah, and the beach was like a 5-minute walk, and it was a great beach. Like great for the dog, great for the kids. You go fossil hunting. I mean, obviously it was around Easter time because I think it was after May.
Oh, we always used to do that all October.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, but I think it was after May you couldn't have the dog on the beach, and I think before October. So it was great because of the holiday time. So we went for Easter actually, wasn't it? Quite often.
And there was no entertainment. It wasn't one of those caravan parks.
No.
It was just quiet.
And
We could
there's
see the sea from where we were.
fish and chip shop just up the road.
Yeah. Take a mug of tea down to the beach because we just had a little grass area to walk down to the beach, didn't we?
Yeah, so there was
This is
there
so
was
nice.
there was a little like bakery there as well. Someone did a bakery out of their garage, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
Do you
just a
remember
real
that?
no frills holiday. We
And
loved
that-
it.
that
No
was-
internet.
Yeah, the kids loved that, didn't they?
But they were little when
No,
we first used
when we
to go.
first went there,
When
but
we
as
went
they get
back a
older,
few
it was
years.
kind of a little bit.
No, we loved that. But I think we were talking about this. My favourite is a road trip. If I'm totally honest, I love a road trip. We're not beach people. We're not sitting around doing sort of relaxing people. We like to do things, don't we? So I love going on a road trip and just having somewhere every sort of like couple of nights or every 3 or 4 nights to go somewhere different.
Yeah, and also I think it's a great way that you can actually explore somewhere as well, because you get a feel for knowing, do you want to go back again? Is it somewhere you feel, actually, we want to explore more? When we did our road trip and we went through Savannah, we only had 2 nights there, was it? We could have possibly spent more or longer there, so that's somewhere that we'd like to go back.
Yeah.
In Georgia, we actually drove through a lovely place called Sonoy. Now, the fact is, obviously, the reason we went there is because a lot of Walking Dead is filmed there, but we actually loved the place itself. So I don't know how much is able to be explored there, but I'd like to go back again. There's lots of different places like that, so I think to categorise it, probably a US road trip is probably a favourite thing, because there's been so many things. Chattanooga we loved.
We've got a road trip coming up after the summer, haven't we?
Yes, yeah, it's
Which I really look forward to.
Bit of a mini road trip, isn't it? But it's still a road trip.
Yeah.
So again, going to places we haven't been to.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that.
So really, really looking forward to that. So I think, some of the places maybe that on some of the road trips we've been to, one of the nicest places we went to eat was in Alabama. That cafe that you found was amazing. So I think there's no one particular place, but generally having a road trip.
I like having something to keep looking forward to as well. Yeah, something that's coming up.
Okay, Diane Hacker, will future trips include more Universal visits?
We'd like to. The only reason we haven't done the last couple was the expense, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think also because we are Disney annual pass holders and DVC, it does make our trips more affordable in regards to going. So generally for us, it's flights and spending money for food and things like that. So then when you add in going to Universal to buy tickets, it does add a reasonable expense.
We did try and upgrade to annual passes, and they wanted so much money.
It was almost the price of another ticket, wasn't it?
Yeah, and because we don't usually do loads of trips in a year. It was just a one-off that we were doing that, and we just couldn't justify keep spending that money on every single trip. So we used our Disney annual pass to death, and we just did the Universal with Louis and Maisie because that was the pre-COVID trip booked, and that's what we'd always planned, hadn't we?
But we do love Universal. We'd actually say staying at Royal Pacific, which is where we usually do stay. It's, I think, one of our favourite places to stay.
In Orlando.
In Orlando, we get such a holiday vibe, don't we?
Yeah.
There's just something about that whole experience.
Loved it.
And I think when we were there in June, was it 4 nights we stayed? It's just that really, really nice, relaxed. Although the days are reasonably full on, they're also so chilled as well at the same time. So I'd say yes, we'd love to. We love Universal. So hopefully in one of our trips when we're back again, we will be doing Universal again because we do really, really
love it.
And we've missed it. In
I know,
October, we were...
Especially because my sister was going.
Yeah, but the cost it would have added would have just been...
We worked out, because like they were staying overnight, it would have been over £1,000 to stay overnight and have 2 days. And like I said, because we've had all the other trips, we just couldn't justify that.
I know some people say, well, why do you need to stay overnight? We didn't have to stay overnight, but obviously when you stay at one of the deluxe resorts, you get the not fast pass, express pass. So it just makes your day, especially if you're there only for like a day, it means that it makes your day so much easier. So, for example, if it is a manic day, you've got a better chance of actually being able to get on a few rides.
Yeah.
Someone asked this question here, Mrs. Snook. Off topic of a little bit for holidays, but it's how come you're looking to move house?
Oh, we answered that in our vloggy, didn't we? We did a vlog about it.
Yeah, was that on this channel?
No, on my channel. I'll leave a link to that one.
So
lots of reasons.
Yeah, it's been spoken about at Lisa's other channel, which is Your Life with Lisa, isn't it? Basically, for those who don't know, yeah, we are looking to move. There is a reason.
Loads of reasons.
But there's loads of reasons. It's more the fact of we just want a new adventure, really, as well. We're both the kids are grown up, in their 20s. So we just thought, no, we would start a new adventure.
We want to move somewhere cheaper to really cut down our mortgage.
Yeah.
We don't need to be in this area. We both work from home. Holly's up north, Louis south. So we're not tied to this area. We're not tied. We don't love the house. You've never lived anywhere else in your life other than this town.
This is the other thing as well. I've lived here my whole life. I've grown up here. The kids went to the same school I went to. I have worked abroad a few times for periods at a time, like months at a time, that kind of thing. But apart from that, I've never lived anywhere else. And until recently, it's never really dawned on me or kind of thought, well, perhaps I do need to live somewhere else. Or would like to live somewhere else. And I think that's another thing. And I think you also, you've now been here for...
25 years.
25 years. So I think a change is quite good. And we were actually talking about this. And we kind of related to this doing our holidays. I think everyone is a creature of habit. Our holidays, we always used to love going to Bahama Bay. That was the resort we'd stay at, and we loved it. Even to the point where we started to see the actual room that we stayed in starting to get a little bit tired, but we still wanted to go back until it got to the point where, no, this isn't right. And at that point, we started trying new and different places, and we've loved it, and we've loved experiencing going different places. And I think that's the same in life. I mean, it's just nice. There's a whole world out there. So, I mean, not that we're going to be thinking of moving that far, but we just want to
want to improve things. We want a slower way of living, don't we?
We both work so many hours. I mean, you work more. I mean, literally from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, most days. You've been a bit better recently, but then when you work for yourself, if you don't do it, no one else will. But then when you have other things that are going on, you've got to work even more.
So then if we could have a much smaller mortgage, I could maybe take my foot off the pedal a little bit.
Exactly. So, I mean, that's one thing. And also to be somewhere we can still have lovely walks, places that we can explore. And so, yeah, that's the reason. Somewhere new adventure.
Yeah, we're excited, aren't we?
Another question from Georgia here. Favourite Disney park?
That changes every trip.
It changes every trip. I think the last trip it was...
Animal Kingdom.
Oh, I was going to say Epcot.
Yeah, but then we had a couple of crappy Epcot days, didn't we? Epcot was the very first day and that was amazing.
We did love Animal Kingdom. You're right, actually, thinking about it now.
2 trips. It's been Animal Kingdom.
We've enjoyed Epcot more though.
Yes.
We have enjoyed Epcot more, but I think that's because where we've stayed, we've been nearer to Epcot. I would still say though, overall, if someone said, like, regardless of just the recent trips, I still do think Magic Kingdom...
It's just always too busy for me.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about the business, but in regard to the overall everything there.
I think I have less love for Magic Kingdom.
I have as well, more recently, but overall...
I feel, for me...
Can I say the reason why?
Yeah.
They sell jalapeno poppers. That's my
So
only
does
reason.
Walmart.
I've never got to try those.
I know. I think for me it depends on the busyness of the park. I really, really struggle with busy. I really do.
I think Magic Kingdom on a, should we say, a perfect day would be ideal because you've got everything that you can do. You can wander, like going over to Tom Sawyer's Island,
That's what I was just
chill
going to
out.
say.
So it's all,
just stay on there.
so it's all those things there. The rides,
My pops.
the whole. Do you know what I mean? There is a nice.
I know. I
feeling
love
there.
it. I just can't cope with the people.
Things like Dapper Dan's that
I know,
are there.
I
It's
love
all
all
those
that.
bits and pieces that
Yeah.
kind of all together. So ultimately Magic Kingdom, but more recently I think Epcot and
We've
Animal
had
Kingdom.
some really quiet days in Animal Kingdom, and that's what's made the difference.
Yeah, but each trip we generally have a different favourite. I think a few years ago it was Hollywood Studios was our favourite.
2017.
And that was actually when quite a lot of the rides were actually not even open. Again, it's probably because it made it quiet.
Yeah, probably actually.
We don't like busy parks.
We struggle. What's the next one?
There's a question from Dan here. Kelly and Dan.
Oh, Kelly and Dan. Oh.
Is what DVC resort are you most excited to stay at? So, I guess we've kind of covered this already a little bit, haven't we? So, for example, we said about obviously Bay Lake and Riviera. Is there anywhere that you want to stay at that we haven't yet?
I'd like to stay at the Grand Floridian just to stay there.
Yes.
I just didn't get in there quick enough, did I, for this trip?
No. We almost had it for the last trip.
That's
but
what I mean. We're at Bay Lake now. Nowhere in
No, the one before.
Oh, I see
Last
what you
October
mean.
we tried to
Yeah.
get it.
Do you know, I don't think I'm that fussed with a lot of them, to be really honest with you. I wish we could use our DVC points to stay at the other resorts. I loved staying at All-Star Movies.
All-Star
I really
Movies
did.
was lovely.
I would actually like to stay at Coronado Springs. I just don't want to pay for it when we've got the points sat there. Do you
Yep.
know what I mean? Because then it seems expensive. I'd like to stay at Coronado. I'd like to stay at Port Orleans. I'd like to stay at Riverside. Just do somewhere new. I find a lot of the deluxe resorts really busy.
And also, a lot of the deluxe resorts have to say, and this is going to lead on to the next question in a moment, so I won't talk about it too much at the moment, is food.
Lack of choice.
So we'll get to that in a minute because someone's actually asked about what resort do we look for food options. So we'll get to that. But in regards to Dan's question about what
I think
DVC,
it would be staying at the Riviera again.
I think staying at the Riviera again. I know we've stayed there, but that would be the one we'd be excited for.
Yeah.
I do really, or would like to try, Vero Beach. I would like
Would you?
to go to, but then that could almost be just like another hotel somewhere.
Yeah, I don't
Couldn't
know.
it?
I guess because we're not beat, but then we loved St Augustine.
That's what I mean. Just almost like
Maybe
the
we
fact
would
of
like
there,
it.
and also Alani
Yes, that's
would be
that's
probably
something.
top of the list in Hawaii. That would
Yeah.
be one that I think we'd love to.
Yeah, I'd love to do that.
Talking of other resorts in other locations, obviously California does have.
Alani's going to be my one.
yeah.
Actually, I would really like to do that. Yeah,
California does have
DVC.
Grand California, isn't it?
Yeah, they're
But
quite
they've-
pricey
but-
on points,
Yeah,
though.
they are. But also they are just releasing, funnily enough, in less than a week's time,
Oh, is it?
a new DVC. I'm not sure if it's a new resort or if they're releasing it for the actual Disneyland hotel.
Okay.
But there is a new DVC coming for California.
I wish there was in Disneyland Paris. That would be
Yeah,
really
that would be
nice.
good. But I think in answer to that question, probably Alani for one that we haven't been to.
Yeah.
One we have been to, Riviera, will be, I think,
go
top of
back.
the list there.
Yeah.
So,
What about you, Dan? Let us know. You've got a nice trip coming up with using your points.
yes, yeah, you have actually. That goes on to what I said about there, and this is a question from Mel Parkey. Favourite resort for food options? So it follows on from what you just said about there. We've come to realise that most of the deluxe resorts, and we're not talking about the table service here, we're talking about maybe quick serve here, because I know there are some lovely places to eat that are table service, but in regards to favourite resort for favourite resort for food options, I think has to be either the moderate or even the value.
For choice.
For choice, but also that night we stayed at All Star Movies, I had the brisket of beef, you had the chicken.
Buttermilk chicken.
Buttermilk chicken.
With mash, wasn't it? Green beans.
The beef was so
I
nice.
could eat that now.
It was nicer, I think, than the beef that we had at Crystal Palace for
didn't
the
like
lunch.
mine here.
That's what I mean. It was just perfect.
Yeah.
And I think you couldn't buy that for that money sort of elsewhere. It was such a nice meal. Yes, it is a bit canteeny, or people would say it's canteeny, but then the food's nice. I can't complain. I mean, yeah, it's on a paper plate, but at the end of the day, it's really nice food.
Yeah. The same with Port Orleans when we ate there.
Yes, the choice there. I just fancied meatballs, spaghetti meatballs or pasta meatballs, or whatever.
And I had chili, which is my absolute favourite.
And again, you got the choices. So I think there are some nice places. I think that if you're talking of deluxe resorts, I think probably Riviera is the nicest in regards to choice. Their pizza there, I think, even tops Blaze Pizza.
For us.
For us. We love Blaze Pizza as well, but if you're a fan of Blaze Pizza, we love that take. I mean, it's not a huge pizza. It's probably about 9-10 inches long. It's sort of rectangular. You get like 6 small slices.
It's really good.
But it is lovely. But the other options are nice there. The croque monsieur. Is the croque monsieur
we
had or not?
That's really good as well.
That's nice there. And it's a nice location. You're sitting right by the water.
I think that comes into it as well, doesn't it? The location.
So I'd actually say favourite resort for food options. I mean, thinking of some of the deluxe resorts.
I'd like to try Coronado Springs for food.
Some of the deluxe ones, where have we eaten? Location-wise, Geyser Point in Wilderness is nice.
Actually, Wilderness Lodge is a nice one for
location.
food.
But the food, we had a charcuterie board there, which was lovely. And again, where we were sat, it was by
the water.
Was it Bay Lake? And again, when we were there, the electrical parade came past. So we had a couple of drinks, we had the charcuterie board. We did have wings, didn't we? But we weren't as keen on those, were they? But
the food choice is limited there.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. You seem to get limited food choice. I mean, we spoke earlier on about Port Orleans, and when we watched... Did we talk about this or not?
No, can't remember.
Didn't actually. Oh, no, it's a post I did. It all blurs into one. I did a post, and it was about going to Port Orleans to go and see Yeehaw Bob. Again, had a charcuterie board there. Again, it was just perfect. It's that kind of thing. So I think the moderate ones or the value seem to... I'd choose those over the deluxe resorts.
Me too.
Sorry, quick battery change there. So, yeah, Sam Warren asked, are you planning a Disney California trip soon? No, we'd like to.
Problem we did one in 2019, which we loved. Problem I think we've got now is that the family want to go. So, like next year, they all want to go on a great big trip.
We're talking about Florida here, aren't we?
Yeah, to Florida. It wouldn't be our choice to go back. And we can use our miles and our points and go to Alani or go to California. But I feel like we have to go back to go with the family.
We don't have to.
I know, but
it's also we need to think, don't we? So we'd like to. We do love California. We do love Disney in California.
I think California can work out cheaper as well, can't it?
And I also think as well we would also do other things in California as well. We do love California in general. That was obviously part of our road trip in 2019. So I mean, we know the area reasonably well, don't we? I used to work over there, not too far from Anaheim. So, and that was the time I used to get residence prices. I couldn't believe how cheap I got them before when I was over there.
It'd be different now.
I know, yeah.
That was when you were young.
That was when I was young, many years ago. So yeah, we'd like to. Nothing planned at the moment, though. I think is the first thing to say that.
And also, we want to move house, so that has to take priority over trips.
Yeah,
at the moment.
so it could be that we do. If we do a trip, it might be even like a last minute thing. We find a deal somewhere. We'd like to use our miles for our flights, but it could be we find a TUI flight that's really good value and maybe go. We don't know. Question from Georgia: what's our go-to Joffrey's order?
2 decaf. Whole milk
Whole milk
lattes.
And they're hot as well.
Yes.
So yes, people have asked us before. Hang on a minute.
We had the situation where in
just
Epcot,
turned the camera a bit.
weren't we, in the Joffrey's
Oh,
queue?
yes,
and
yeah.
there was a group of friends, not our friends, just a group of friends behind us all talking.
Yeah, we weren't ordering, by the way. We were stood in the queue, and did you hear what they said? Yeah, because what was it they said?
You have to be only serial killers order hot drinks in this time of year.
So I turned around and said, "Well, that'd be us then."
We just like our whole milk decaf lattes.
Yeah.
That's what we have at home. That's what we have. We
Yeah,
never have them flavoured. We don't go... unless we're at Joffrey's and then we have a cocktail. What's the fruity cocktail I order?
I can't remember what it is. I know mine's the Kahlua-Tini.
I have like a strawberry lemonade cocktail.
A frozen one, isn't it?
Yeah, frozen one. And you go for a Kahlua-Tini.
Yeah. I would say, though, Joffrey's as well, we do love their cakes.
Yeah,
I think their
like
apple fritter is lovely.
Is that now your favourite?
Well, no, I still like the... Now,
Cronut.
they call it a cronut. I always thought the cronut was a trademark name.
I don't know.
But anyway, their cronut, basically their square donut with like icing on top, croissant-y kind of thing, but sort of flaky. That's really nice. But no, we're quite dull with our coffee orders. I do like some of the cold ones. I will have a cold latte, but I haven't had one for such a long time. And some of the refreshers are okay.
I've never tried
but the strawberry, is it the strawberry acai or...
Have you tried
I don't know.
one?
I've had one before, yeah. Over here, though.
Oh, they're not supposed to be as good, are they?
No, I forgot to try one over there.
Oh, I have to do it next time.
So, yeah, that's really, really dull. We're not excited anyway. We don't like any frappuccinos and cream and things like that. I have had them before. I thought I end up feeling sick after having them. So, the kids always have them, don't they?
Yeah.
Or half of them, don't they?
Yeah.
A question from Crochet Ninja. What's your bucket list holiday destination non-US?
There's a
I know what you're going to say.
there's a cookery school I really want to go to in Thailand.
Yep.
North Thailand.
I've wondered if you'd say that.
Yeah, it's on my list. I'd really like to do that.
That part of Thailand looks really nice, doesn't
on
it?
a
It's very rural. Would you class it as rural?
Yeah, it's on a farm, and you actually go to the market in the morning to buy your veg together and all that, and you do your cooking, and they have all the herbs out in the garden. It looks really nice, doesn't it? You even make your own coconut milk and everything.
It's definitely not the Thailand you imagine it being. I think it still must be a degree of tourism there, but it is quite a...
We saw it on Cara Nate's, one of Cara Nate's videos, one of their very early, like within their first few months of travelling.
Yeah, and it looked so nice, so beautiful there as well.
And it's still open. I've checked. I'd really like to do that.
I think in regards to non-US, for me, I'm just trying to think where I'd like to go. Japan has always intrigued me, but not a place where I think I must go. I'd like to, but I think there's so many other places like in the US that we want to explore. There is something in the US that you can see so many different things. And I'm sure you can in obviously other parts of the world as well, but I think Japan would interest me.
I've always wanted to go to Italy. Always wanted to go to a Greek island.
You've done that.
I haven't. I would love to go to Vietnam. I'd love to see a lot more of Asia.
Yeah.
I struggle. I went to Bangkok and didn't like that. I don't like busy.
A bit like main, sort of, as you see,
yeah,
cities.
the markets and all that, I really struggled with.
I had that in Indonesia. I didn't actually see many of the markets, but when I was there was somewhere, and it was a bit like that, how we described it. I think I've seen, again, fun enough, it was on like Cara Nate's videos, where they go through the markets in the street, and it is just almost like chaotic, isn't it? It just seems manic.
Yeah.
So, okay, so Thailand. So
yeah, the cookery clubs.
I'd come along with you on that one as well.
Would you cook with me?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Or I just might eat it.
And I would like to go to Ollie.
Yeah, what now? But do you class that as being US?
Oh, it is the US actually, isn't
Don't
it?
you?
Yeah, ignore me. I have no interest to go to Australia. I just stayed there.
No,
it's too far away.
I'm sure there are lovely places there. I think probably Western Australia I'd be intrigued to go to more, which is Perth.
It's just so far away.
Well, that's where one of our offices is. So, but it seems to be a little bit more out of the way. I mean, Australia's massive, but that kind of appeals to me more than maybe Sydney or Melbourne.
Did you not watch Wolf Creek? Put me off.
So that's what all Australians are like. Just trying to think of other places that I'd want to go to. Scandinavia I've been to. Loved Scandinavia. Again, comes back to if we did a cruise, it'd be nice to maybe see some of these places.
I think that's why I'd like to do a med cruise, actually.
To experience different places.
I'd like to go to Croatia.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of places.
And last question, it's another one from Georgia here. What's your ideal Sunday?
Oh, with you.
Oh, thank you. It was always with us anyway.
A nice
I wonder if it's going to be the
walk.
same as what I was going to say.
What?
No, go on, after you. A nice walk, did you say?
Yeah, a nice walk, pub lunch, having a roast dinner, movie.
That's exactly what I was thinking as well. I was actually thinking, I know some people think Sunday's like, oh, lie in and this, that and the other. We kind of do get up quite early, don't we?
I get up and edit every single morning.
But I think on a Sunday, there's something nice if you happen to wake up early and it's a nice day of making a coffee, getting sorted and getting out for a nice walk. We haven't done that enough recently. Maybe we should do this weekend.
That's a nice idea.
Maybe we should do. So sometimes we've done it before where we've left the house. It's not mega early, but for a Sunday it's quite early. But we have left the house before 8 o'clock and we've gone out for a couple of hours. And it's nice, you get back, it's still not late. A pub lunch, like roast dinner, or even our own. But then of course it means you've got to cook it.
And the house smells.
Yeah, which is fine cooking it, but then our local pub doesn't do a bad roast, does it? And it's quite cheap as well.
What's your perfect Sunday? Leave your comments below. Let us know.
Yeah. So that's the last question there. So if you're still with us, well done.
And answer along as well. If you want to answer any of those questions so we can get to know you a bit better, leave your comments below.
Yeah. Yeah, so no, thank you. And thank you for all those Ask Us Anything questions. Maybe we'll do that every now and again as well. But no, it's nice to do another chatty video as well. Hope you've enjoyed it. Again, we should have said this at the start, but please subscribe if you don't already and click that like button and also notifications so you actually get notified of our videos. So thank you so much for watching and we will see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.